What's up, everybody? Today is Monday, August 15th, 2022 at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. This is the 415th edition of 413 Sportstalk. Good to see you once again, and thank you for your continued support of the show. I got WNBA season finale to discuss. It was a pretty good slate of games, as well as your normal scores and an introduction to the Way Too Early series. Episode 415 begins now, damn it. And it starts with the Tampa Bay Rays ace Drew Rasmussen takes his perfect game into the ninth inning as Tampa Bay beats Baltimore 4-1. Congrats on that pitching excellence, sir. WNBA's Sylvia Fowles sees her legendary career come to an end as the Minnesota Lynx fall to the Connecticut Sun 90-83. She retires as one of the game's all-time greats and is definitely going to be sent to Springfield at some point within the next decade, I think. She was fucking awesome. And there was another GOAT that saw her final regular season game as well, and that was the great Sue Bird, point guard for the Seattle Storm. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow returns to practice. As you know, he had a little issue, it was appendectomy, I believe. Yeah, something like that. So, he had to sit out for a little bit. He returns to practice yesterday and throws well with the 7-on-7. So, he's getting back up there. I believe he'll be ready for the first week of the season, honestly. New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh says, we're not out of the woods yet, quote unquote, until the outcome from Zach Wilson's knee scope is determined, comes back. And I think that is very true. Personally, if it comes down to preference, I like Mike White better. I think the dude's a baller. And it was a big-ass game where he just busted out and it was success, but I think that he has the skills overall to continue something like that, to put together a good season. And, as Zach sits out, potentially now it's 2 to 4 weeks, like I had first reported, so no real changes happened with that. I feel comfortable putting him in there, actually, if I'm a Jets fan, or if I'm Robert Saleh, and I don't see a reason why the Jets won't be successful this season. A little fantasy golden nugget for you guys. If you happen to want to take one of the top rookie running backs in this draft, I will do so, because he is going to get to the carries, and his name is Breece Hall at Iowa State, plays for the New York Jets. Anyway, a little something for you. Washington Nats call-up prospect C.J. Abrams, the shortstop, because they need help pretty much everywhere. I thought that was decent. He's finally up to the pros now. What else do we have? Legendary Texas Longhorns fullback Steve Worcester, who's known as the inspiration for the wishbone offense, dies at 73 years old. Let's have a moment of silence for Mr. Worcester. WNBA legend and all-time leading rebounder Sylvia Fowles has retired. I know this is kind of overlapping what we had said about her before, but one thing I did not know is that she was the all-time leading rebounder. That was an extra fact, I guess. I think I was going to put in before, but I just ended it there. Anyway, that's it for the news. Let's talk NFL preseason week 1 finale. It was really an interesting game. Las Vegas Raiders beat the Minnesota Vikings 26-20. LV's 2-0 this preseason. I always love it when the Vikings lose, especially when they act like their team's gotten so much better this offseason. Like Garrett, seriously. All right, here we go. WNBA regular season finale. CT over Minnesota 90-83 as That was Sylvia Fowles' final game. New York 87, Atlanta Dream 83. Las Vegas Aces over the Seattle Storm 109-100. It was a great game in Sue Bird's last regular season contest. And we also have Chicago over Phoenix 82-67. Excuse me. Tomorrow on episode 416, a day before the playoffs, we'll break down matchups and even maybe come forth with an entire playoff prediction. I don't know yet on that, but I definitely can give you what I see in the first round and who's going to win and why. Excuse me, let's talk baseball. My Red Sox beat the Yankees, but it don't fucking matter because we're not in the playoffs. 3-zip, we won. San Diego over Washington 6-0. Cleveland over Toronto 7-2. Atlanta over Miami 3-1. Tampa Bay over Baltimore 4-1. Cincy 8. Chicago Cubs 5. New York Mets 6. Philadelphia Phillies nothing. Chicago White Sox 5. Detroit Tigers 3. Kansas City Royals 4. Los Angeles Dodgers nothing. Houston 6. Oakland 3. St. Louis 6. Milwaukee 3. In a game that Grandpa Albert Pujols homered twice. Texas 5, Seattle 3, and Arizona over Colorado 7-4. And that's it for your scores and news for today. Check back tomorrow with updated everything for that as well. Now let's talk about NCAA football. This is the way too early series, and it's starting now. The first in my way too early series here is the mock draft right before the NFL and college football start their seasons. 2 rounds, as we're going to break down the first round. Today I give you picks number 1 through 16. So this is a little bit more accurate. I kind of did, in the last episode I did the mock draft simulator. Now this is just my mock draft based off of what I know and what I feel like every franchise needs, at least franchises 1 through 16, as we'll do the latter half tomorrow. And we start with the Houston Texans, drafting number 1 overall. First of all, hold on. One thing I do want to say, the draft orders in the 2023 NFL mock, where it is so far, where they think that the teams are going to go. So, just kind of keep that in mind. Also, that the Miami Dolphins do not have a first-round pick. Another thing to most definitely be aware of. Anyway. Number 1, I have the Houston Texans taking Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama. Almost every measure, the race between C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young for quarterback 1 is too close to call, especially now in mid to late August, we'll call this. The mock draft simulator data revealed that, though, through all mock simulations to this point, Stroud was only selected 400 more times than Young. Both had top 5 rankings as well. So, what that says to me is, I think Bryce goes number 1 here. It says Stroud is getting picked 100. It says C.J. Stroud gets picked more. I just can't see CJ. I don't see CJ in Detroit and that working out, honestly. Number 2, Atlanta Falcons, C.J. Stroud, quarterback of Ohio State. Falcons just spent the 2022 NFL Draft stocking up on talent across the board. They're not going to be competitive this year, and odds are they'll be picking near the top when the 2023 NFL Draft rolls around. At that point, it'll be time for them to add to their next franchise quarterback. Third-round rookie Desmond Ridder has potential, but C.J. Stroud is a different caliber of a prospect. Stroud can give the Falcons Matt Ryan-esque stability and production at quarterback, especially right away. Number 3, Detroit Lions, Will Levis for quarterback from Kentucky. So many early 2022 NFL mock drafts last summer had the Lions selecting a quarterback early in many cases. It was Sam Howell associated with Dan Campbell's Detroit squad on account of his competitive toughness. That's a connection some way to make that some may make with Will Levis in his cycle as well, because he's very competitive. Levis is tough as nails, which should draw Campbell to him, but the difference between him and Howell is that Levis has far more superior tools and Sam Howell's gone. Jets, Jalen Carter, defensive tackle out of Georgia. If you remember from my last episode, I had him going to the Jets as well at one point. One of the most popular picks in the entire 2023 NFL draft database to this point is Jalen Carter to the New York Jets at number 4. Carter is actually the most selected player by the Jets in the mock draft system, ahead of both Alabama's Will Anderson Jr. and Clemson's Brian Brees. If you remember from the last episode, I'm not sure how many times I'm going to say that one. But yeah, so Jalen Carter here to the Jets. You guys, with your mocks, keep picking Carter. So who am I to argue? Carter is a phenomenal fit on New York's interior line, and with his leverage, explosiveness, and power, he mirrors his potential teammate Quentin Williams as a prospect. This guy, if he can add some consistency to all this, should be a star in this league for years to come. Number 5, Jacksonville Jaguars take Jackson Smith-Njigba, wideout out of Ohio State. When deciphering the Jacksonville Jaguars team needs, a lot depends on how the 2022 season shakes out. The Jags have a bevy of young talent on defense, and right tackle spot is currently the subject of a battle. The best option here might be to add more weapons for Trevor Lawrence, particularly with Marvin Jones on his way out. Jackson Smith-Njigba could provide a vital dose of consistency and unending reliability for the Jaguars wide receiver room. He is a complete pass catcher with target funnel potential. This guy is really fucking smart and good at what he does. Carolina Panthers take Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher from Alabama, and most likely Matt Rule is kicked out the door here. On the surface, you think the Panthers would go a shoe-in for quarterback in the 2023 NFL Draft. But what if 3 passers go off the board before their pick? They're giving Baker Mayfield a chance to resurrect his career, and Matt Corral has shown flashes early in training camp already. Maybe Carolina, who won't be competing anytime soon, can instead take the best player available at Willie Anderson Jr. here. Anderson is truly an elite edge prospect with the skills that are game-changing, potentially, alongside Brian Burns, and I think that's a good little combo right there. Number 7, just like in with the mock draft simulator, I got the New York Giants taking Kelee Ringo, a quarterback from Georgia. Go motherfucking Bulldogs, go. The Giants notably released James Bradberry this past offseason for failing to find a trade partner. The move granted them some cap relief, yeah, but it also leaves their quarterback room relatively thin. New York drafted LSU product Cardale Flott, but there's still a sense that they need a new alpha. Kelee Ringo might end up being the runaway quarterback number 1 of the 2023 NFL Draft as the season ends. He's a special mover for his 6'2", 205-pound frame, who brings play strength you don't often see at the position. Chicago Bears take Paris Johnson, offensive tackle from Ohio State. I'm at pick number 8, by the way. All right, Chicago, it's time. You got to protect Justin Fields. Go with this guy, Paris Johnson here. It seems like there's also another half dozen spots that need help on the Bears roster, but protect him here. Number 9, Seattle Seahawks go with Trenton Simpson, a linebacker out of Clemson. There's no prospect that this quite fits the queen of the chessboard description, like Trenton Simpson in the 2023 NFL Draft. But he stands 6'3", 230. He can play the traditional linebacker spot. Come back and play a little safety if you want him to. Usually, he came down to the edge. And he's on the other side. He's on the edge, but he's on the side of where the edge rusher would be. So he's still in position to select the quarterback. And what he does there, when he's in that gap, is crazy. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to kind of taper off a little bit. Yeah, anyway, he can rotate back into coverage from that spot as well. Playing alongside Jordan Brooks and Jamal Adams, Simpson's sheer versatility could be invaluable for Seattle. Number 10, here is Brian Brees sliding into a tackle from Clemson to the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders have one of the best defensive linemen one of the best defensive linemen in football with Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, even though he's unproven at this point, but his collegiate and professional teammates, Darren Payne, could be on the way out soon. If anyone knows the importance of a strong interior rush rotation, it's Ron Rivera. So if Payne leaves, Washington could stand to recoup the loss by picking a player like Brian Brees in round 1. Brees is a 5-year talent with courageous bursts and lateral agility. And the length provides a dangerous conduit for power. Number 11, Pittsburgh Steelers, Antonio Johnson, defensive back out of Texas A&M. Some prospects just move differently, almost impossibly when you take their size into account. Antonio Johnson is one of these prospects. After an elite campaign as Texas A&M's big slot, Johnson is quickly traveling up draft boards. He brings a long, lean frame at 6'3", 200 pounds, but moves with effortless ease when tracking receivers. And when Johnson keys in on routes, he can accelerate extremely quickly and converts at the contact point, which is either a deflection or an interception right there. A secondary with Johnson, Minka Fitzpatrick, and others could be incredibly tough to play, especially going down the stretch. Something you might want to think about if you're in the AFC. Number 12, Eagles from New Orleans, Miles Murphy, edge rusher from Clemson. Our talented defenders coming out of Clemson this year, I will say. I mocked Miles Murphy to the Eagles in my last 2 rounds 2023 NFL mock draft. While I don't like to indulge in repeat selections too often, I have to make the same pick here. That's all we'll say. Number 13, the Eagles take Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas. This is the first time that I have this pick mocked. The Dolphins not taking Bijan Robinson here. 14, I have the New England Patriots taking corner Eli Ricks out of Alabama. I think this makes sense to me. Stephon Gilmore has been long gone, but he hasn't been replaced yet. So, and 2 more we have. Number 15, Las Vegas Raiders taking Matthew Bergeron, offensive tackle out of Syracuse. That's good and dandy, but I can't wait till Jordan Bass, that offensive lineman out of Syracuse, goes to the NFL. It's a Central Golden Eagle right there. Shout out to you, Jordan. Congratulations on your commitment. You're one of the greatest. Number 16, Tennessee Titans, Keyshawn Bouillette, wideout out of LSU. Titans are trying to stock up, and they take him here. This guy is... I've heard good about him. I've heard someone even rave about him being in between Jamar Chase and what's the other guy's name we mentioned? I don't know, but anyway, yeah. Especially this year, it's still early now because the season's just starting, but I believe that Keyshawn comes out, and this is where it happens. He's taken by the Tennessee Titans. Anyway, episode 415 is all set. I am Raheem Escalade. Thank you very much for your continued support of the show. We love you all. Wishing you nothing but health, wealth, and success. Can I say? Cherish your time with your loved ones. When you go to the gym, make the best of it. And yeah, because I'm doing just that. Trying to get bigger and hopefully the goal is 200 by December. We're at 164 right now, so we got a lot of little ways to go, but I definitely do got Thanksgiving coming up. Anyway, just trying to kill like 2 minutes right there, something like that. High school football preview coming up soon. So at some point later on this weekend, I believe we're going to take a break. And episodes and stuff like that are going to be halted just so I can make the final adjustments to what we have for you as far as this preview. This preview is going to blow you away. I'm pretty sure you're going to like it, appreciate it, especially if you are a fan of Western Mass Sports. of football. If you have a son or daughter who plays one of the wintertime sports, if you got a son who plays football, a nephew, a cousin, whatever, I'm really been working hard so I can give you the best product with this as we go forward. So yeah, we got that coming up, and don't forget we have high school basketball eventually coming up. That's way down the road, but I sat down yesterday and started to draw out what I thought was going to happen and who I want to have and who's going to be in the rankings. Love you all. Wishing nothing but health, wealth, and success. Here's the 20-minute mark, and we will see you tomorrow with episode 416. It is 9:05 a.m., August 15, 2022. See ya.